Yes, lads, what's happening? And welcome to the 20th episode of the Little Running Irishman Podcast. We've reached, in my eyes, a little bit of a landmark this episode with the 20th episode. I know we've had the 10th and now the 20th, and honestly, it feels like I've done so many more episodes and 20 episodes. It just feels mad. Like, it feels like I'm always recording, which is a good thing. I love doing it. Love making the podcasts for you guys, and obviously, I do have a few episodes that are recorded and aren't going out for a while now, but you know, I definitely feel like I have a lot more episodes done than 20, and yeah, I love the grind, I love the process of making all the episodes, so it's not like that's a bad thing. But I just want to thank any listeners that have been listening maybe from the first episode. I know there's a few of my mates, a few of the lads off my running team that I know have been listening from the first episode, and I know some of them can be a little bit hard to watch or listen, whichever you listen, or if you watch them on YouTube, because if you're not into running, or if there's like some of my mates that do try support me, as I'm only a small channel, I appreciate the views and the subscribe from obviously my mates that don't do running, but there definitely are people that are consistently watching or listening to the podcast, and I do appreciate all of you. I appreciate if you've listened to one episode. If this is your first episode, I appreciate it. I appreciate if you like any of the videos, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you do any of that sort of stuff. I really do appreciate it. And I hope I hope there can be many more episodes to come. But I do appreciate anyone that stuck around from the first episode from the vlog, from many other ideas to come. I appreciate everybody in the slightest. If you've done the slightest thing to affect the channel or to affect the podcast, I appreciate you. And yeah, as I said, hopefully more episodes to come. Definitely more episodes to come. And I'm really excited for the future of the podcast on Anchor, on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, or the YouTube channel. I'm really excited for the future, and yeah, hopefully we can get bigger and bigger as the weeks go on. So as you know, it's Sunday's episode. We talk about my week of training, but as you probably do know as well, we have other little bits to talk about. And the first thing I want to mention is that the Black Roll Ireland product did arrive. Here's one and here's the other. The Black Roll Ireland product did arrive. The review for them are going out on Tuesday coming. This is going live on Sunday. The review is going live on Tuesday. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and turn the little bell notification on, so you'll be notified when that goes live. Unfortunately, it won't be a podcast, but just hop over onto YouTube. And yeah, basically, you'll be able to watch it there. So, I'm really excited for that to go live. I have it recorded. These arrived on Tuesday. So from Tuesday up to today, which is Sunday, I've been using these products to get me through the week of training, really. And let me tell you, they did help a lot. So I do appreciate Black Roll Ireland sending me out these products. As I said, they did help with the week of training. And yeah, I'll be talking a little bit more about the products and foam rolling and rehabilitation later on in the episode. But for now, as I said, appreciate Black Roll Ireland sending me out those products. And as I said, the review is going out on Tuesday, 3 o'clock GMT. So that's like Ireland time, basically. I know GMT stands for other countries as well, but basically just go on Google and convert it for wherever you live. As I said, turn on the little bell notification so you'll be notified when that goes live. And I know I do appreciate, as I said, Black Roll Ireland send me out these products, but if there are any other companies whatsoever that want to send me products, or yeah, for me to test and review the products on the channel and on the podcast, get in touch with me at littlerunning.irishman.official Instagram, or littlerunning at gmail.com. Give me an email there, and yeah, I'll definitely reply back, and hopefully some other companies can listen to this and see my channel as well and reach out to me, and I can start more partnerships with other sport related companies, really, or any companies that are all out there, just to help the channel grow, and yeah, get involved with other companies out there. So as I said, send me products, I'll do a review, and yeah, hopefully more companies to come in the future. I want to mention is I have started up my very own TikTok. I think I mentioned this just before in like the start of Thursday's episode, before we got into the interview with Paul Delahunty. If you haven't listened to that episode, make sure to go back and give it a listen. It is a great episode, a lot of running talk, and Paul is just a sound guy overall. But as I mentioned, started my own TikTok. It's called Little Running Irishman, search me up on TikTok. Give me a follow. Give my videos a view and give them a like, because I'm pretty addicted to making them right now. Making the TikToks, it does get fairly addictive, and yeah, I'm enjoying doing that right now. I'm on the TikTok grind as well as the YouTube and podcast grind. So go over there, give me some support. As I said, the Little Running Irishman, and yeah, give me a follow there. I would also appreciate that. And one other thing I want to talk about is I kind of changed my name a little bit on YouTube. It was the Little Running Irishman Podcast, but now it's just the Little Running Irishman. But I have a playlist on my channel. If you click into my channel, you'll see the playlist there. Basically, that playlist is named the Little Running Irishman Podcast. And the reason I've done that is because I know I have the vlog up, and I know the review of the Black Roll Iron products is going live as well. So there are two different things then other than a podcast that'll be live on the channel. But I don't want to really have the name that kind of maybe leads people on or limits my channel to what people are expecting from the channel. So there is a playlist there called the Little Running Irishman Podcast. All the podcasts, the previous ones and future ones, will be going into that playlist. And yeah, so if you want to start from the first episode on that is posted to YouTube, click on it and it will play through all of my episodes in the playlist. Also, as some of you may know, the regular listeners, I don't have all the episodes up on YouTube right now. If you go to Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, you will be able to listen to episode 1 all the way up to this episode, which is episode 20 of the podcast. So if that's something you'd be interested in, make sure to definitely go and do that. And the Nike Zoom Streak 7s, they've arrived. I think I did mention them actually in Thursday's episode, because they arrived on Thursday, but from Thursday I didn't have any running done in them. But also in Thursday's episode coming, I also mentioned that I recorded Thursday's episode coming, so next Thursday's episode I recorded that yesterday, which was Saturday, and I mentioned that I do my first session in them last Saturday, from the perspective that this is going out next Thursday. Hopefully you're following me. But today is Sunday. Yesterday, as I'm going to mention in next Thursday's episode as well, do my first session in these bad boys. If you're listening to this episode of the podcast, basically Nike Zoom Streak 7s, the colorway is like a bright orange kind of pinky colorway with a white Nike tick. As you can see here, it says Nike Zoom there, orange laces as well, and has a plate down the bottom. It also fairly good grip and protection on the sole of the shoe basically. And yeah, I done a session in them yesterday, minute on minute off, which I'll talk about now in this episode. And also I done my hour run in them today, and they are a marathon shoe. Like, they can range from hard track sessions, races on the track really, from maybe like 8 to 50, like ranging start from about the 800 to the 1500, all the way up to the marathon really. You can wear these for anything. They're a great shoe. As you see in there, Nike Zoom foams are very responsive. Excuse me. Yeah, so very responsive. Great shoe, very lightweight, and yeah, as I said, the reason I done my long run in them today is because if you follow Little Running Irishman official Instagram, you'll see that when I wore them for the first time, this is the right one, and this is the foot that I got my blister on. I got it on the back of my foot, kind of where my Achilles is. So yeah, I got a blister there because I just need to break into them a little bit. And yeah, so that's why I wore them today on my hour run, just to break into them that little bit more. And let me tell you, they felt good, especially my session yesterday. Very, very fast, felt comfortable. And yeah, the video, I'm going to do a review on these bad boys in about 2 to 3 weeks. I want to get, I'm already started taking notes of like the runs I do and all the different things, like how they feel on my feet and all. So I want to get a bit of mileage in them and a good few hard sessions in them. Basically, I'll have actually a fitness test on Tuesday that our coach organised for us to do. Basically, they call the Cooper's Run test to basically see how far you can run in 12 minutes. So I'm going to be testing these out in that fitness test as well. Next Sunday's episode, I'll inform you guys how we're done in that, due to next Sunday being the episode as well where I talk about the week of training. But yeah, as I said, going to run in these in that test. Obviously it's a bit difficult for the people listening to this when I say D's. Basically when I say D's, I mean obviously the Nike Zoom Streak 7s. So yeah, as I said, want to get a bit of mileage in them, want to get a bit of fast sessions in them, like the Cooper test. And yeah, so follow Little Running Irishman official Instagram to be kept up to date for when it's going live, because I'll post up there when I'm recording it, and I'll post up there when it's going live. So if you want basically to know when any episodes of the podcast or other episodes on the channel go live, follow me over there on Instagram. And yeah, really excited to do the review on these. And yeah, they're a really, really great shoe. So moving on from a little bit of talking, we're gonna get basically into the week of training. I'm pretty sure this may be a pretty not short episode, but definitely shorter than some of the episodes that are on my channel already. And as you know, when we go through the week of training, we talk about the week, the day by day, basically the week. We compare it to last week, and now because the weather's, for some reason, because we're in quarantine, the weather's being nice in Ireland, I also mentioned the weather as well. And yeah, because the weather can definitely affect your run. Definitely if you're someone like me and it's pretty hot and pretty humid out, and you're not used to it because you're from Ireland, you're not used to the hot weather. That's pretty much why I am mentioning the weather and the humidity, because it definitely does play a factor into how well I run. So let's get straight into it. Monday, as you know, 50-minute run. I done 9.67k, 5 minutes 31 seconds per kilometer, or 6.01 miles, and 8 minutes 53 seconds per mile. Didn't feel good on Monday at all. Ended up putting 55 minutes into my watch by accident, but only ended up doing 53 minutes. And after doing 53 minutes instead of 50 minutes, I only ended up doing 9.67k. Definitely didn't feel great on Monday, and that's probably because the Black Roll Ireland products, the loop band and the resistance, not the resistance ball, the massage ball, sorry, didn't arrive till Tuesday, and that did definitely help me with the runs over the course of the week. So actually the weather on Monday, it definitely wasn't the hottest compared to some of the days over the week. It was 9 degrees Celsius with 53% humidity, so the humidity was pretty high. But yeah, 9 degrees is pretty good running weather, but I just didn't feel great on the day. So comparing that to last Monday's run, I done 50 minutes, because obviously last Sunday 2 weeks ago I didn't stretch. If you remember from that episode, I mentioned that didn't stretch and my legs felt a bit stiff and heavy on Monday, but I ended up doing 10.15k. I done like 9.67k this Monday at 5:15 per kilometer, so that's 6.31 miles and 8 minutes 27 seconds per mile. So definitely felt pretty decent last Monday, and yeah, it was a better run overall last Monday compared to this Monday. So moving on to Tuesday, which you know is a session, minute on, minute off for 22 minutes. I mentioned in last week's last Sunday's episode, that basically my coach gave us a plan, like a training plan, and for the sessions he said do the minute on, minute off, starting at 8 minutes on, 8 minutes off, so 16 minutes altogether, and work it up all the way to 12 minutes on, 12 minutes on, so that would equal 24 minutes of running in total. So this Tuesday, it was 11 minutes on, 11 minutes off, so that was equivalent to 22 minutes. So the sessions this week, the two of them, I can compare both of them to last week, so that's good. First time actually, I think, ever on the podcast on Sunday's episode that I was able to compare the two sessions in 1 week to the two sessions in the week before. So Tuesday session, minute on, minute off, 11 minutes on, 11 minutes off. So as I said, equivalent to 22 minutes. I done 4.63k, 4 minutes 45 seconds per kilometer, or 2.88 miles, and 7 minutes 39 seconds per mile. Pretty happy with it, pretty fast, felt good. This was the day that the Black Roll Ireland products did arrive, so they definitely helped me loosen up and get ready for the session. And yeah, that's why I feel like I went pretty fast, and I ended up doing pretty well on that session. So Tuesday was pretty hot, and 12 degrees Celsius, one of the hotter days this week. It was 50% humidity also, so you know, not the highest percentage humidity, but the 12 degrees definitely did play a factor into the session. So last Tuesday was a minute on, minute off for 18 minutes, so that's equivalent to 9 minutes on, 9 minutes off. It felt decent last week. Legs raw. It felt alright. Last week I done 3.77k, or 4 minutes 47 seconds per kilometer, or 2.34 miles and 7 minutes 42 seconds per mile. Like every time I do the minute on minute off session, I know in America I think they call it a fartlek. Basically, I go really hard on the minute on, and I go pretty easy, pretty light on the minute off. So that is why the pace for the kilometers and miles is probably slower than I was actually going on the minute on. But that's how it worked out. It didn't make that much of a difference. But obviously, I went further this Tuesday than I did last Tuesday due to the fact of me going for longer, and yeah, so but pretty decent session this Tuesday and last Tuesday, and I do actually like the minute on minute off session, so definitely gonna come back to it regularly, but definitely gonna start changing the sessions up now due to me getting 12 minutes on, 12 minutes off this Saturday, which is equivalent to 24 minutes, which was the time our coach basically said for us to build up to. So moving off from Tuesday session, we move on to Wednesday, which is a 50-minute run, done 9.79k, 5 minutes 7 seconds per kilometer, so pretty fast, like fast enough. 6.08 miles and 8 minutes 14 seconds per mile. As I mentioned numerous times, the Black Roll Iron products did help a lot, and as I mentioned at the start, go give them some support because I do appreciate them sending me the products. They did help for every session this week, especially the loop band. It definitely made me feel a bit stronger. So they felt really good. I went out feeling good, and I decided, because if you remember last week, I said in Sunday's episode last week, I mentioned that I need to go slow on the 50-minute runs and get that nice recovery in after sessions, and recovering before like Saturday session. So I felt good, but I just went along nice and steady, and yeah, it was a really good run on Wednesday. Wednesday was also 9 degrees Celsius with 48% humidity. So like Monday, definitely wasn't one of the hotter days this week, but 9 degrees is perfect running weather. Really, comparing that to last Wednesday's 50-minute run was 9.56k with 5 minutes 14 seconds per kilometer. So I think that's I went 13 seconds faster this Wednesday than I did last Wednesday, so happy with that. Or 5.94 miles and 8 minutes 25 seconds per mile for last Wednesday's run. Didn't feel good at all really last Wednesday. I pushed and I hurt bad overall, so definitely an improvement this week in the run from last Wednesday, so happy with that. Obviously showing improvements, and the work is paying off, so obviously that is always good to see. So moving on from Wednesday is Thursday's 50-minute run once again. 9.55k, 5 minutes 14 seconds per kilometer, and that's 5.94 miles or 8 minutes 25 seconds per mile. I felt pretty good. I felt good, but not as good as Wednesday, but like good, like compared to a lot of other days. So it felt pretty good on the run, and I didn't push at all, and I just got it done. So that's why the kilometers, the distance basically for Thursday's 50-minute run isn't the longest, but felt good. Once again, went along steady just like Wednesday and got it done. So Thursday was 10 degrees Celsius with 49% humidity. So once again, pretty good running weather, but not the hottest day this week by any means. And Thursday, last week 50-minute run, 9.68k, 5 minutes 10 seconds per kilometer, or 6.01 miles with 8 minutes 20 seconds per mile. Last Thursday, I remember I felt horrible. If you remember that last Sunday's podcast, you remember me mentioning last Thursday I felt horrible, and wasn't even pushing at all, and my body just wasn't moving properly. Actually, that was the day that I recorded the vlog. If you haven't seen that, if you're listen to the podcast, search Little Running Irishman on YouTube, and my channel will pop up, and there will be the vlog there of my pre-run, my run, and my post-run routine. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just go on to the channel and you'll see it there. Really enjoyed making that, and it did take quite a while to edit, so if you could give that a like, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, felt horrible last Thursday, and yeah, this Thursday was definitely a better run all around. Friday, as you know, is my rest day, but didn't really have much of a rest. I know this probably wasn't the best idea, but Played football for 6 hours straight. I left my house at 1 o'clock and I didn't come back till about 5:30, 6. So yeah, I played football for about 5.5 to 6 hours on Friday. I enjoyed it. All my mates, my brother and my cousin were there. Really did enjoy playing football. It was some laugh. But yeah, Friday done that for 6 hours of football. But definitely, when I say played a part in Saturday session, I don't, not a huge part, and the reason is I woke up stiff and my arms were stiff, my legs are stiff, especially my right leg because that's the one I shoot with. But I did foam roll really well and used the massage ball really well and the loop band pretty well, and I did end up loosening up pretty good. I was stretching for like an hour and a half when I woke up, so it definitely did help me loosen my legs and get ready for the session. So Saturday session was the last minute on, minute off session that my coach assigned to us. 12 minutes on, 12 minutes off. Everyone so obviously equivalent to 24 minutes, but everyone take a moment of silence anyway for the last minute on, minute off session for a while. Alright, so that's enough time. But yeah, no, it's a bit sad. Love these sessions, but as I said, definitely gonna come back to them. It's not like I can't do them whenever I want. But Saturday was my first session in, hold on, the Night Zoom Streak 7s. Loving these. Oh, can't wait to get out next Tuesday and do another hard session in them. I know I can wear them for Monday's run, but I don't want to like wear them out and like keep putting pressure on like the Zoom foam. So I kind of want to save them a little bit, but I'm also gonna wear them when I can. So as I said, Saturday, minute on, minute off, 12 minutes, 24 minutes altogether. First session in the Zoom Streak 7s felt really good. But as I've mentioned, I posted on the Little Running Irishman official Instagram, and I mentioned at the start of this episode, I did end up, they did end up rubbing off the back of my foot, like where my Achilles is. The right one did, and I got a blister near the end of the session, so I could feel it. It's only a tiny little blister. Actually, I'll put if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a picture up of it there now. Yeah, so it's not the worst blister in the world, it's just a little one, but I could definitely feel my shoe rubbing up against it. But it got a really good session overall. 5.27k, 4 minutes 33 seconds. Oh, sorry, 4 minutes 33 seconds per mile. I was reading this completely wrong. Or 3.28 miles and 7 minutes 19 seconds per mile. So I was really happy with that. Got over 5k, which is something to mention, I think. Anyway, but yeah, happy with it. On Saturday was pretty warm. Was 13 degrees Celsius with 55% humidity. Pretty warm, but it didn't really feel it, so it didn't impact the session that much. So last Saturday, as you know, was minute on, minute off again. 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, so it was equivalent to 20 minutes. 4.31k, 4 minutes 39 seconds per kilometer, or 2.68 miles and 7 minutes 28 seconds per mile. Felt good again last Saturday, but it was really hot last Saturday, so that definitely played a factor into the session. But got the session done last Saturday as well. Obviously, the distance is going to be a little bit less due to basically me going for longer this Saturday, but the pace is 4 minutes 39 seconds per kilometer last Saturday, and this Saturday was 4 minutes 33 seconds. Actually, I don't know why I thought it was 4 minutes 44 seconds this Saturday, which was yesterday. But yeah, so it was faster this week, and obviously I have further to go to like make it faster. But obviously, because I'm going further, that theoretically should mean that I'll end up getting slower. But I didn't. Maybe went slower on the went faster on the slow minute, but you never know. Happy that I went faster this week than I did last week. As I said, once again, that is showing improvement. But moving on from Saturday, which is today, which is Sunday, 60-minute recovery run. Ran them in the Night Zoom Streak 7s, as I said, just to break into them a little bit more. I actually, before I went on the run, put a bit of good old reliable Sudocrem on the blister and put a plaster on it, so I could kind of feel the plaster rub up against the back of the shoe. But that will kind of, the plaster will actually kind of help me break into it a little bit easier, because the plaster will add a thin layer on the back of my foot, which will be pushing against the shoe, which will make them that bit bigger and easier for my foot to break into them. So 60 minutes, 11.26k, 5 minutes 21 seconds per kilometer. So that's 7 miles on the money, or 8 minutes 36 seconds per mile. Felt really, really good. Went along nicely and just got it done. 11.26k with 5 minutes 21 seconds per kilometer. That is faster than... Is that fast? Faster than Monday's 50-minute run. And Monday I felt really bad, but a 50-minute run, and with Sunday being a recovery run where I make myself go slow, felt really good. Didn't feel the pace at all. Really happy with the run. It was also 19 degrees Celsius with 59% humidity, but it was kind of overcast today. It was actually pretty humid, and it did kind of get a bit warm, but definitely didn't feel like 19 degrees. But comparing this Sunday's run to last Sunday's run, which I mentioned in last Sunday's episode, I don't really like comparing the Sunday runs due to them just being slow recovery runs. But last Sunday, I remember, felt pretty good as well. Actually, I have down here, felt good, but I felt bad at the same time. The fact that is, like, if I'd have went fast, last Sunday I wouldn't have felt good, but the fact that I went nice, slow, nice along, I felt pretty good. So last week was 10.97k with 5 minutes 38 seconds per kilometer, or 6.82 miles, 9 minutes 4 seconds per mile. So definitely slower and less distance last week than this week, but just didn't even, like, it wasn't a case where I was pushing. It was just a case where I felt better this week. So coming to the end of the week is the total kilometers. This week, total kilometers and total miles, sorry. So this week was 50.17 kilometers for the week, or 31.13 miles. Really happy with that. I know for a fact that is a bit further than last week with 48.44k and or 30 miles on the dot. That is just really because of the Sunday run, me feeling better on the Sunday run. Last Thursday I felt really bad on that run, and the minute on minute off sessions being longer this week, so that definitely 100% played its part in what was that, the distance and kilometers and miles being further this week than last week. So that is the week of training, analyze, and gone over, really. So coming off that a little bit, I want to talk about recovery, because, which I've mentioned numerous times, the Black Roll Iron products did arrive this week, and the massaging and the recovering for Saturday's session after playing football for 6 hours on Friday, definitely the like recovering and stretching and massaging and everything before my run was essential, and it's definitely essential before, and I say after, but I'll talk about that now in a minute. But for me, in particular, recovering, not recovering, but stretching and warming up my muscles before I go out on my runs, personally is essential. And from being in quarantine and having, like, obviously when you go out training, like, with the team, it's like set times for everything. So when you meet there, when the session actually starts, and how long you have to warm up. But now that I have all the time to do the warm up, I've been foam rolling. Then when the Black Roll Iron products arrived, I used the massage ball, used the loop band, like stretching out every part of my body. I have all the time to do that now, and it really is helping me. It's definitely helping me with, like, feeling looser before my runs, and it's definitely helped me, like, feeling looser after my runs as well, which is helping me with the run the day after. It is so important, and I know that even some lads on my team don't really stretch that well, but as I said, it is like a personal thing. I've gone into the habit of doing it now, and I've kind of always been like this. The fact that, like, if I don't stretch before I start running, even for the warm up, if my legs don't feel great, and yeah, I don't feel great if I don't stretch. So I've really got into the routine of it, and it's so important. But what I mentioned there was the fact, I said it's so important for me before a run, but after a run, if you feel really stiff going to bed, or you feel really stiff maybe after your shower or after your run, have the shower first. Sit around for a while. let your muscles cool down. And when I say sit around, actually sit down for a while. And when you stand up again, if you're stiff, then you know you need to go and massage and foam roll and stretch. Otherwise, it will definitely affect your run the next day. So it is really important to do that. But yeah, so like, don't. I learned this tip off ex-professional or Irish athlete Katrina McKiernan when I went to one of her courses. But it your muscles, when you come back from a run, your muscles are already warmed up, and if you start stretching and foam rolling straight away when you get back, you're just putting more tension and more tension on your muscles, and it won't loosen them up at all. In fact, it might even damage them a bit more and make yourself a little bit more stiff. So as I said, have your shower first, because I know for me, after my run today, and I went out to play football today again. When I came back, I was stiff, and when I stood up after sitting down, I was stiff. But then I went and had my shower, and my legs feel grand now. I don't need to do any massaging now tonight. I'll just do foam rolling and stretching before my run tomorrow. And actually, if you want to see my foam rolling and stretching and massaging routine before I go out for my run, that is all in the pre-run of the vlog, so make sure to check it out if you're interested. But yeah, so I done everything. I sat down, stood up, saw that I was stiff, went for my shower, came out of the shower, and my legs feel great now. And you should definitely do the same, and do not stretch or foam roll straight after a run, because as I said, your muscles are already warmed up, they're already like flamed up and burning. And if you're just foam rolling and you're just stretching, you're just gonna flame them up even more and put even more pressure on them. So definitely rest as soon as you get home. And if before you're going to bed, maybe if your legs are sore then and stiff, and you know it will definitely affect your run or session the next day, then whip out the foam roller or start doing a few sessions, or the massage ball, or any resistance band really you have, because I felt the loop band from Black Roll definitely did help me loosen up and build a bit more strength in my legs before I went out. So that's a little bit I wanted to talk about before. Talk about warming up and foam rolling and recovery and everything. It's so important, and recovery doesn't just come in forms of stretching and massaging. As I mentioned, it comes in forms of rest. It comes in forms of refueling your body. It comes in forms of relaxing and doing something you enjoy other than running. So when you hear recovery, it definitely doesn't mean stretching and foam rolling, put your body through the strain of the foam roller and the stretches. It will literally just mean, it'll also actually just mean relax, eat proper food, and eat nice food that you enjoy, and do something different other than running that you enjoy to help you just relax your muscles and calm down after a run. But definitely massaging and foam rolling later on in the day, if needs be. Obviously before a run is so important, because I feel like, do you ever get, especially people that do run and listen to this will know this, if you haven't stretched and you're out with your mates, and then maybe you start messing or something, and you sprint, you do one burst like a sprint because you're messing with your mates or something, I don't know, you feel like maybe a strain in your legs, or a strain in the certain, like it feels like maybe a pulled muscle in your leg or something. That's what I feel like would happen with me, and that's what I feel like does happen with me when I go out for my runs before I stretch and foam roll. So for me, it's very essential that I stretch and foam roll before my runs. And yeah, I don't know, it is, as I said, it is different for everyone, but after a run, like just before going to bed, if you feel like you need to stretch and cool down your muscles and just get them ready for the next day, by all means do so. It is very important. But for me in particular, it is most important to do it before I go out for my run. So yeah, as I said, I just wanted to talk a little bit about recovering, foam rolling and relaxing and stretching and all before and after runs, to really help you be in the best shape, and at least like fatigue before a run, race or session. And definitely go to blackrollireland.ie to get all the best, basically, foam rolling and rehab and recovering equipment you need. So coming to the end of this episode, I know it is a fairly short episode this week. If you follow the Little Running Irishman official Instagram, you'll see And actually, if you follow Kilo.04, it's CILLO.04, which is my main account. I also put a little question box up there on my story where I said, leave me a running or fitness related question, and I will basically answer it in the episode of the podcast. And I was left loads of questions, so I'm gonna answer one now. I'm not gonna mention the name because I'm just not. So yeah, as I said, did get a lot of questions, and basically I'm gonna post this every Monday. No, literally every day. Like, not every day, maybe like every second day, maybe. I'm gonna post a little box where you can ask me a question. So make sure to go over, follow me if you want a chance for your question to be in one of the episodes of the podcast. So leave a question there. I'll post one tomorrow when I get up and when I go on my phone. I'll post a question box up there tomorrow. So definitely do check that out and leave a question if you want it to be in with a chance to be in one of the main man's episode of the podcast. So the question I got was what I like and what I don't like about running. So obviously with any sport there comes great things and there comes not so great things. So basically, if you do Gaelic, obviously you love playing Gaelic, but then your coach makes you do sprints and running and everything before you get into the actual session and get into actually playing playing football basically. And it's the exact same with running. There's definitely things I do like. I can't say in particular there's things I don't like, but there is things I would prefer over other things. So in the question it says things I like first and then things I don't like about running. And what I like is seeing results. That's probably the main thing I like about running. I like putting, like, I've been going through a hard block of training here and a consistent good block of training here, and soon enough, because I got the Night Zoom Streak 7s, I'm gonna do another. I've done 2 5k time trials in the past, like, a month or two, so I'm really cranking out the fast tempo time trials. So I'm gonna do another one pretty soon when I like break into them. It will be before the review. I'll tell you that in the review of the Night Zoom Streak 7s, I will have done the tempo. So if you want to hear about that, it will be in that review. But as I said, when I do like a hard block of training, which I'm going through now, and when I'm piling on hard sessions on my own, as it currently is, or with the team, I like going out for a time trial. I like going out for a race and placing high in the race, or beating someone that I don't usually beat, or getting a time, setting a new 5k PB, a new like consistent, like, if we're doing 10 400s on the track, being able to hold 70 seconds for each 400, or beating a personal best on my Garmin. So just seeing results is probably my favorite thing about running, and I'm sure it's like the runner's high. I'm pretty sure everyone that does running knows what the runner's high is, and you probably have the same feeling about your most favorite thing about running is seeing results. And yeah, that is definitely my favorite thing about running. And my least favorite thing about running is I'm torn between stretching and warming up and foam rolling, or the bad days, because the bad days are bad. Like, I don't mean like the days where you're not really arsed to get out. I mean the days where you're barely halfway through your run or barely halfway through your session and you feel terrible. You feel like you're never going to be able to finish the run or session, and it just drags, and maybe you have to drop out. Actually, scrap the foam rolling and stretching. Even though it hurts and can be a bit of a pain to have to do every day, it is essential. So the one thing I dislike about running are the bad days. Pretty much the opposite of my favorite thing. So the good days where I'm getting PBs and winning medals and everything. But yeah, my least favorite thing about running would be the bad days, as I said, where you're halfway through a run and you feel terrible, you're not going along nicely, your body just isn't working with you. Or in the middle of a session, and like lads that you'd be usually ahead of maybe in a session, or lads that you'd be ahead of usually in a race, and you're just not feeling up to it. And it brings your self-esteem and confidence in running really low. I've been through that multiple times. It was last year actually. It was 800 meter race indoors. I didn't even get out with a heat, the year before last I got out with a heat and qualified for the final, and the year after, which was last year, I didn't even get out with a heat. So that's when my self-esteem and my confidence with running went down pretty bad. Then I even had thoughts about quitting, but obviously thankful I didn't. But I'm sure there will be more days like that for me, and I'm sure a lot of you have gone through days like that where you're just not up to it, your body isn't feeling it, and yeah, it's just a bad day running wise overall. And when I say running wise, if you have a bad day, a bad race, a bad session, a bad long run even, you come back and it does affect your mood for the rest of the day, and it can affect your family's and friends' mood for the rest of the day. So if people that do running and you have a bad day, it does have a bigger effect than just you done bad in the session. It affects your self-esteem and confidence in running, which can lead to bad thoughts. I don't like to say, but mentally bad thoughts, and bad thoughts for your running, and also, as I said, sends bad vibes around your house and bad vibes with your family. So that would be my least favorite thing about running. So that is pretty much everything for this episode of the podcast. I really enjoyed this episode. We had a new segment where we have a question of the week, which will be a consistent segment now in the episode of the podcast. So as I said, littlerunning.official or cillo.04. I'll have a question box tomorrow, which is Monday, up on my Instagram story. So fitness or running related questions, type it in there, and yeah, for a chance for your question to be featured in an episode of the podcast. And yeah, as I mentioned numerous of times, Night Zoom Streak 7's review coming out very soon, so subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you'll be notified when that goes live. Also, you'll be notified when the Black Roll Ireland product review goes out, which is on Tuesday. So as I said, turn on the notification bell. You'll be notified when vlogs, reviews, and episodes of the podcast go live. Also, leave this episode a like. It really helps me out a lot. Also, if you are listening to this on Anchor, if you go to www.anchor.ie, actually, I'll leave a link to my Anchor page on the website basically. There's a little button that says listener support. Click it. You can donate 99 cents, $9.99, no, $4.99, or $14.99. And I know it's all in dollars. If possible, if you can donate anything, it would be really appreciated. It would all go back into the podcast and the YouTube channel. Better cameras, better, as I said, webcam, better quality mics. It'll all go back into the podcast. So if possible, any donations are highly, highly appreciated. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a like. And follow my TikTok. I'm really enjoying it right now. Little Running Irishman. Yeah, as I said, really enjoying it. Kind of addicted to making them. So give me a follow over there if you're interested in them videos. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I really enjoyed making this episode once again. Definitely, I think anyway, it is a shorter episode this week, but I enjoy making all of them, no matter what the length. And I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.